We've talked quite a bit about what to look for when selecting effective prevention programs and strategies. In this video, we'll discuss a few of the red flags that can help you identify ineffective or even harmful programs that you'll want to avoid. One all too common red flag category is scare tactics. It is important to avoid approaches that utilize things like horror stories, dramatization of dangerous or harmful effects, gruesome photos or videos, and tours of jails or boot camps. While scare tactics are popular, they can actually make problems worse, and the reason is rooted in biology. The adolescent brain is sometimes described as being all gas and no brakes. This graph illustrates how risk-taking and the drive to seek novel experiences peaks in adolescence, but the ability to understand the consequences of one's actions does not fully develop until young adulthood. The red line shows how sensation-seeking neurological processes peak around the age of 16 or 17. This is well before the impulse control system, represented by the blue line, comes on board at age 21 or 22. The result is that an adolescent brain is simply hardwired for risk-taking. When presented with a horror story about an overdose, a mock drunk driving accident, or some gruesome media presentation, students can actually become more curious about the very behavior you're trying to prevent and be unable to comprehend the intended message about dangerous consequences. These effects can be even more pronounced in youth who are already at risk due to personality traits or family or peer group influences. When it comes to prevention, we know that increasing students' knowledge, building skills, and supporting healthy beliefs and attitudes takes time, practice, and repetition. However, in an effort to conserve instruction time, schools might be tempted to address prevention with very brief, one-shot approaches, such as a one-day event or a guest speaker at a single assembly. While these kinds of programs can seem like time savers and help to check the prevention box, they are often a waste of time and money. So, another red flag to be aware of is programs or approaches that offer only a one-time presentation or an intensive focus for just 1 week out of the school year, without tying into an ongoing, broader prevention strategy. Finally, a note of caution about competitive approaches, such as poster contests, quiz, or trivia games. While these can add an element of fun and generate some buzz around prevention, they sometimes fall short in terms of the goal to universally increase student knowledge, build skills, or support positive attitudes. Often these approaches require a great deal of time and energy, but end up engaging a relatively small number of youth, many of whom are not at risk. When implementing competitive strategies, consider classroom-level approaches rather than whole school to increase the number of students who can participate and win. Ensure content focuses on strengths, skill building, and correcting misperceptions or building knowledge of consequences without tapping into those fear-based approaches. A great example of an effective competitive approach is incorporated into the Project Towards No Drug Abuse program for high school students. Students are divided into teams, and a game is incorporated into the beginning and end of each of the 12 TND lessons. This competition provides a fun way to review and reinforce lesson content and keep students engaged. When looking for programs with a positive effect, remember to avoid fear-based approaches that can backfire, short-term or one-time programs that may be a waste of time, and think carefully about incorporating competitions. By watching out for these red flags, we can select programs that are more likely to be effective and avoid harmful approaches.